right, couple more clicks and we will begin. There we go. Okay, good morning, everyone. Welcome to LisaBug Yoga with Purpose. And our purpose today is to work on functionality. Functionality kind of means what we need to do to keep us strong for our daily life and things that might happen in our daily life. So we're going to do functionality in terms of flexibility and range of motion for our joints to keep us in that functional range. We're going to work on functionality of a strong core by completing our 3-minute plank today that we've been working towards. And so I just want you to come to a mountain pose. And in terms of functionality of our everyday life, one of the most functional things we do is walking. So stand nice and tall, and then just imagine you're taking a step forward and putting the body weight onto that foot, and then push off of it and step back. And then step forward with your left. You're going to strike your heel and step back. So this is a little movement from Tai Chi or Qigong, stepping forward and stepping back. So we're thinking about balance and nice, tall, lengthened posture. And then as we do this, I'd like the arms to float up forward a little bit and then bring them back down. And then switch. And this step doesn't have to be big. It's not a big, huge stride forward, but you can play with it a little bit and see maybe where it takes you. And then to see where it takes your arms for your shoulder movement, start to come up a little bit higher. So when our arms raise above our head, there's a lot of things that could be a detriment to that. Okay, of course, we could have a frozen shoulder or injured muscles, rotator cuff, that kind of thing. But maybe it's simply tight lat muscles. So our lats need to stretch when our arms come up. So this would be a dynamic stretch for functional movement of the shoulders. Okay, let's do one more. And then step out with that right foot and just hold a stride position. Now your back foot can be turned out just a little bit, or you can make it straight forward, but just a nice stride position. And take your wrists and flex your fingers up and fingers down. And then once you get that going, lift up on the balls of the feet and come down. The first one is always the hardest one, as your body starts to find its center of gravity. So flexion and extension of the wrists. This is going to help warm up our hands for our planks today, just in case you're doing them on your hands. 2 more here, lifting up and lowering. 1 more. Good. Now switch the stride of the feet. So we have the other foot in front, just a small stride. Take the hands, make a fist, and open the fingers. And then we'll start to add that lift up on the balls of the feet and down. And the timing doesn't really matter. You can come up when your hands are opening, or you can come up when your hands are closing. Just notice, is your balance any different on this side? And then take this from a fist instead to making a claw. So open and then claw your hands. And you're doing this with some intention, some intensity, really working the hands and fingers. 2 more here. 1 more. And then relax those arms down. Bring your feet to neutral. I want you to take your hands, kind of make them in a prayer here. What we're going to do is roll the fingers towards us and turn the hands and push out. So we're coming in It's kind of an interesting movement because you're just letting your hands kind of roll around from the pinky finger to the thumb. So we're bending and straightening our elbows. So we've got some movement there. We're moving if you'll notice, my elbows kind of go out like that. So I've got some abduction of the shoulder and some movement through the wrist. And then, of course, we have to reverse that. So do one more. And then you're going to back it up, come in toward you and roll it out. I know, a little different movement than what we've done. A while back, David sent me a video on some warm-up exercises for the hands and the wrists, and this one was included. So I wanted to bring this one into our practice today. You'll have to let me know how you like it. Okay, let's do one more. And then relax the arms down. Press behind you any amount, and then sit down into chair pose and reach your arms forward and up any amount. So we go down and back, forward and up. Now, what would it feel like to put our inhale here and our exhale here? Does that feel pretty normal? Inhaling, arms up. Exhaling, arms back. One more. Now change. Take an inhale here. Exhale here. Breathe in. Breathe out. You should be feeling some work into your ankles and a little bit of flexibility. Your heels are staying down on the ground. Your weight's going back into the heels. Good. One more. And come up. We'll do a backstroke. I got to make sure I have room behind me. So take your right arm up, lead with your pinky finger, and then turn and look behind you as you circle the arm back, and then let the other one follow. And we're trying to keep our pelvis pretty squared. You can move your pelvis a little bit, but most of the rotation happens in the mid upper back region, and a nice range of motion for your shoulders. Also range of motion for the neck. So we're really looking back and looking back. One more each side. Checking in to see how your shoulders are feeling with this movement. Okay, then coming into the crawl. What I want to do is slightly hinge forward like you're in the water. So bend your knees, bring your upper body down a little bit, take your hands here, and we're going to go back, take a breath, go back, take a breath. And you don't have to be a professional swimmer and do this just perfect. I just want you to keep your core tight, to rotate and bring your shoulder through a nice, comfortable range of motion, and breathe. Does one side feel a little different than the other? That would be normal. And let's do one more on each side. And then come all the way up. Great job. Grab your yoga strap or a kitchen towel or a belt, something that you can hold on to that's fairly long. And we are going to do a breath retention exercise. So what I want you to do is breathe in, lifting your arms up. Now hold your breath as you do a side bend. Keep holding your breath as you come up, and then exhale it all out as your arms come down. So we'll go the other way. Inhale here. Hold your breath and side stretch. Keep holding your breath as you come up, and then exhale it down. Inhale, hold. Keep holding. Exhale. Good. Inhale, big deep breath. Hold it. And down. Let's do one more on each side. So we are holding the breath when our lungs are full, right? And down. One more. And down. So now, inhale when your arms are down. Hold your breath. And exhale. Inhale. Hold your breath. Exhale. One more of those each side. Inhale low. Exhale. And down. I said exhale instead of hold. You knew what I meant, right? Inhale here. Hold your breath. And exhale. Now I want to put a hold at the end of the exhale. So take a breath in, then exhale it as you're lifting your arms. Exhale. Hold your breath. Inhale as you lower. Exhale to bring it up. Hold your breath. Inhale. Exhale. Hold. Inhale. Exhale. Hold. And inhale and relax back to a normal breath flow. Great job. Let's set your yoga strap down. So that's a drill to teach us to be able to retain the breath when our lungs are full, as well as when the lungs are empty. Let's come into dead arms. Start some rotation of the body. And see if you can lengthen your spine just a little bit taller. You can look from side to side or keep your head nice and still. 4 more. 3, 2, 1. Go into your golf swing. Up, up. Add a lymphatic tap or slap underneath the armpit. So we've been doing this lymphatic warm-up with lots of different variations for weeks now, and I still want to be throwing this in from time to time. We don't have to do as much of it, but I think it's just really beneficial for the lymphatic system. 4, 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, let's prepare for our 3-minute plank. So I want you to start thinking, do you want to do it on the wall? Would you like to go to your kitchen countertop, to a chair, to the floor? I'm going to let you know every 30 seconds where we are along the way. You can change it anytime you want. You can do bird dog. You can do just basic hands and knees. You can come from your wrists, from your forearms. Okay, so we have 3 minutes. So I want you to pace yourself, but also if you need breaks in there, I want you to work in your breaks. Okay, let's prepare to begin in about 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, and begin. So we're pretty fresh right now at the beginning of class, so you might want to choose the more difficult positions first, and then you can dial it down as time goes on here in the 3 minutes. Or you could do the reverse. You could do more doable positions first and then see what energy you have left to finish nice and strong with a harder plank. That's 30 seconds. I'm going to hold this for another 30. You can add side planks, any form of planks into this 3-minute process. Focus on your breathing. We just did a nice breath technique. You might want to add some breath retention here, holding your breath between the inhale and the exhale. That's 1 minute. Switch if you'd like, or stay with what you're doing here. Be mindful of your wrists and of your shoulders and the angles of your wrists and shoulders. You might feel those muscles shaking a little bit. Okay, we're coming up to, that's 90 seconds, so we're halfway through our 3-minute plank. Good, and these are planks of your choice. You don't have to follow what I'm doing. I'm just kind of going with how I feel at the moment. Remember, you can drop your knees down at any time. You can rest, take child's pose. All right, you guys, that's 2 minutes. We have 60 seconds left to go. Coming down to the forearms here. Bring your awareness to your posture, to your spinal alignment, to bracing the transverse abdominis, your lower belly. We've been working on these plank variations for weeks, so this is kind of the peak and the culmination of our hard work. Okay, guys, last 30 seconds to go. Do what you can. My knees are coming down. That's okay. It's all good. It's all excellent work. Even a rest is excellent work and recovery. Our body needs that. We have 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and rest. Okay, take a recovery posture of your choice. Wherever you are, if you're standing up, you can give your shoulders and wrists a bit of a stretch and just recover. Give yourself some positive self-talk. It's important for us to focus on the positive and to recognize our performance and how good we did, rather than to say, oh, shoot, I was hoping I could do that better, or I did it better last week. Let's try to focus on those positive affirmations. Okay, if you're down on the floor, let's rise back up to the feet. And we'll use our chair as an option for downward dog, or you can use the floor. And I'm going to use the chair. And what I want you to think about with your down dog is range of motion for the shoulders, to be able to lift those arms to a comfortable position and to maintain that position. So either coming down to the mat with your hands or to your chair. Let's walk the feet back and come into your down dog. And what I want you to focus on is pressing down into the earth or the chair with your arms straight, peeling apart your shoulder blades a little bit. And we are going to do a little breath retention here. So I just want you to inhale, hold the breath, exhale, hold the breath. Inhale, hold the breath, exhale, hold the breath. One more time. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold, and then breathe normally. We're going to step the right foot forward. Hands again can be on the mat or on the chair. And then lift your right arm away from the floor and twist. Look up at your hand, working on range of motion of the neck. And draw that right shoulder blade back. Feel the work in the back side of the core. And then we're going to make a circle with this arm. So I want you to bring it down. Turn your body forward as you reach out and circle back. So this is like the breaststroke that we did in the warm-up. Good. 3 more circles. Big inhale as you're circling. Exhale as the arm's coming down. 2 more. One more time. And then either bring this hand to your hip or wrap it behind your back and really rotate here. Inhale. Hold the breath. Exhale. Hold the breath. Twice more. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Hold. One more time. Then come out of your twist and then step back into your down dog again. Or if you need to stand up, any other little posture as we begin to switch sides. So the left foot takes a nice step forward. You can use your block here also underneath the right hand. We'll twist this open to the left. Now it's not necessary that your hand be up. That's just kind of the traditional positioning in this pose, but you can do whatever feels okay for your arm. And really turn your head to get some rotation in the neck. Back leg is nice and straight. And let's start our circle by reaching the arm down. Turn your body forward. Circle, inhale. And exhale. We did 5 circles on the other arm. Functional shoulder range of motion. Keep that pose nice and steady through the lower body. One more time, circling back, then either bringing the hand to the hip or wrap it behind the low back. And take your breath retention. Inhale, hold the breath. Exhale, hold. 2 more. Breathe in, pause. Breathe out, pause. Last time. Then unwrap. Either step back again to down dog, or you can step forward into forward bend. That feels better for you at the moment. All right, let's keep the hands to the chair, or you can be hands and knees on the floor. So what I want to do is challenge the glute a little bit, which will help you to relax your hip flexor. So we're going to take our right leg back with a bend in the knee. Your standing leg should also be bent. You can be doing this on your hands and knees. And push the leg up and bring it down a little bit. So this is a functional range of motion for the right hip. We don't have a lot of range of motion in extension of the hip back this way because our hip flexors are typically tight. Make sure you're not arching your back a bunch here. 3, 2. Now hold it up. Hold. Check your head and neck position. Keep the abdominals braced. And then lower that leg down. Do a standing cat stretch, or if you're on your hands and knees, do a cat stretch there. So just round the back, feel the lower lumbar spine relaxing. Then come back to neutral, hands and knees or hands and feet. Bring the left leg back, flex your ankle, push your foot up toward the ceiling and down a little bit. So this is called hip extension. It fires the glutes. Also, a little bit of your hamstring as well will contribute to this exercise. But our focus is to relax the hip flexor. We're going to be really deeply stretching the hip flexor toward end of class. So I want you to have that joint warmed up and gone through a functional range of motion. Let's hold this one up. Hold and breathe. Check that you're not arching your back a bunch. Keep your abdominals pulled in. Keep breathing normally. All right, lower that leg down. Do a cat stretch, either standing or kneeling. Tucking your tailbone under a little bit. And then we'll release and roll all the way up to a stand. Take a little side stretch over to one side. Just check in on your lower back, see how everything's feeling. And then to the other side. Okay, we did a high lunge with a twist. Now we're going to do a revolved triangle. So I'd like for you to step forward toward your chair. Your hands go on your chair, or your hands can be down on the mat or on blocks. Square your hips off. If your hamstring's really tight, you can have your hands up here on the back of your chair. So I want you to be at an angle that feels okay for you. And then just relax the right arm down, and we are going to rotate out into revolved triangle and then back down. Now, sometimes this pose is easier if you have more separation between your feet side to side. You don't want to have a tandem stance like you're standing on a balance beam. You want to have some separation between your feet. And again, the shoulder, the arm position can be changed to make this feel okay for you. You can have it right here. You decide. And then let's hold this last one and breathe. What I want you to do, just normal breathing is fine, or you can add the breath retention, but I want you to look down toward the floor and then look up. We'll do 3 times with that neck rotation. Look toward the floor and up. One more. I'm really feeling this stretch in my back leg in the calf. And then lower that hand all the way down. Step together, either hold a forward fold or you can stand up and relax shoulders, neck, and wrists. So then our left foot will be the forward leg. And this isn't a really long stride. I have a pretty narrow stride forward to back, and I have my feet narrow side to side. Hinging from the hip, the right hand comes down, and then we open out into revolved triangle. And then let's move through that range of motion, reaching the hand down and rotating up. And really finding functional strength in the back muscles. in that rotation. Front knee can be softened, not locked out. 2 more. Last one, holding up any position for your shoulder that feels comfortable, and we'll look down at the floor, then look up toward the ceiling 3 times. Neck rotation, and 2, and 1, and lower the arm down. Step your feet back into either a forward fold or rise up and find a nice recovery position in mountain. And then we'll step out into a wide leg position, the length of your mat. I always start on the right side for Warrior 2, so I'm going to change that up and start on the left today. So turn that left foot out, come into your Warrior 2. And then we are going to reach out long with the arms and then cross the left arm on top of the right. And we can wrap this into a hug here. You can pull the left arm across the body, or you can wrap into eagle arms. Then bring your elbows toward the back foot and look over your front foot. So you're looking to the right, you're looking to your left. It is my right, but your left. And your elbows are moving back to the left. Good. Now bring your elbows and your head back to the center and slightly over toward the front foot. So you're on a little bit of an angle. And we are going to bow this into humble warrior. So let's lower down and find a release through the upper and lower back. Now, can you do your breath retention here? Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. 2 more breaths. One more. Inhale, hold, exhale, and hold. Use the strength of your body to let yourself rise up, pressing down into the earth. Unravel your arms, extend out, and lower down. Great job. Let's perform that to the other side. So pivot your left foot in, pivot your right foot out, find your warrior, extend, shoulder blades are down. This time your right arm will be on top. Wrap into your hug or slide this arm across your body or wrap into eagle arms. Bring your elbows to the back foot. Turn your head toward the right foot. Really stretch through the upper back and shoulders. Good. Now realign. Bring your elbows slightly to the other side. And then we'll inhale, prepare, exhale, come down into humble warrior. Now, if humble warrior doesn't feel okay for you, stay upright or support yourself on your hands rather than wrapping into your stretch. Take 3 breath retentions. Inhale, hold, exhale, hold. 2 more. One more, maybe sink deeper into the posture. Then push down into that foot Use the strength of the back body to rise up, 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 up. Unwrap the arms, reach out, and lower down. Great job. Bring your feet back to a normal stride. Maybe roll the shoulders a little bit, shake everything out, and we are coming down onto our back. So if you need something to support your head, I want you to have that with you. You will need your yoga block. Last week in class, we did that supported bridge for the hip flexor. Have your yoga strap also. So block, strap, something to support your head, and come down onto your back. Take your time to get there. I'm not going to go without you. Okay, so we did some warming up for the hip flexors when we were in that standing or hands and knees position, lifting the knee up to the ceiling. So now we're going to lift the hips up to the ceiling by doing a bridge, a glute bridge. So feet are hips distance apart. Press into your feet and lift your hips up and then come down. So I just want you to find a nice, comfortable pace. You can go as slow or as fast as you want. But when you lift, I want you to focus on tightening your glutes and relaxing the fronts of your hips, the psoas and the hip flexor. You can also do this on your heels, so you can pull the balls of your feet up off the floor, press down into your heels. You might notice right off the bat that engages your hamstrings more. So be careful with that, because sometimes the hamstrings want to give a little cramp on you when we do this. So go nice and slow. Make sure that feels okay for you. Let's do 2 more bridges, your own range of motion. One more. And then come down. Now keep your back on the floor and just march your feet. Bring one up and down, the other one up and down. So this would be a level 1 choice. And then we'll start to layer on, and you can pick which ones you'd like to do today. So low back is pressing into the mat, level 1. Level 2, we lift up into that little bridge. You can be on your heels or flat feet, and then march your bridge up and down. So this takes more strength and power from your glutes. Also, a little bit more core connection so your hips don't weave from side to side. Great, now relax. You have 2 levels to work with. The next level is to bring your knees up into tabletop and tap a heel to the floor and lift back up. So the movement of the legs is the same on all of these. It's a marching. It's just we're changing the position of our hips for some different levels with this. Really bracing your core. Do 1 more on each leg. And then step your feet back down to the mat. So now we'll utilize our block underneath our hips. Now make sure you're not putting it under your low back. It's important where you place this. So lift up into your bridge, slide your block underneath the pelvis. So the wide part of your pelvis goes right on the block. And then we're just going to do our marches here in supported bridge. Now, if you don't have a block or you prefer not to use it, you know those other variations that we just did with your marches. So this is like the marching bridge that we just previously did, but you're supported. So you're not having to use your glutes as much to do that marching bridge. One more on each side. And then your second option here is to bring your knees up into table and then march down and up. So now you have about 5 layers to choose from here. Just a nice functional movement for the hips and the hip flexors. One more each side. Then walk your feet back down to the floor and relax. We'll take the right leg and bring it in towards you. And kind of, you can hold it around your knee or you can hold behind the leg and just kind of pull it in, stretch a little bit, and then we'll set that one down. You can do this without the block. You can lay on the mat, pull the left one in, and bring it down. Now pull the right one in, maybe not as much, and then we'll straighten and bend our knee any amount. Now, if it's difficult for you to get a hold of your leg, you've got your yoga strap there and you can bring it around and you can hold it into you like this so you can get that bracing of your leg in that position. And again, you can do this without the block. And then let's hold that leg up any amount, doesn't have to be completely straight, and we'll slide the left leg out long and relax that leg and stretch your hip flexor. Now you can also use this yoga strap under the bottom of your right foot. So if you want to use it for a little bit more stretching here, here's your position. And let's hold this and breathe. Probably a good 60-second stretch here. And what are you feeling? Sensations for me is mostly my left hip flexor is going, I really need this. Thank you so much. And we had a discussion in the chat after class last Thursday about how much we need this stretch. And it was really kind of neat because Nancy McCall wasn't in class that day for the chat, and she sent me a message and said she did the class later on YouTube and how much she loved and needed this stretch. So even those that weren't in the class that day, so this is something that we will revisit quite a bit over the next several weeks. Okay, so let's relax that one. And before you get started on the other side, do you need to adjust where your block is? Because sometimes as we start to move, it shifts into a place it's not supposed to be. You don't want it under your low back. Okay, then let's bring the left knee up and in toward you. And then we're going to slowly straighten and bend the knee. Wow, that one is tight. So I'm going to put the strap around so the leg can be a little further away from me. And there's nothing magical about getting your leg all the way to straight. You just go wherever your comfortable edge is and really embrace that. Couple more. And then we'll hold that. We can slide the other leg out. And enjoy this stretch here, or use the yoga strap under the bottom of that left foot. So of course this can be done without the block, but what the block does is it lifts the hips up. So we have the right leg is extended lower than the top of the hip. So that's where we really get this hip flexor stretch. And of course, if your left foot is flexed, that's going to give you a deeper, intense stretch as well. Maybe you can try your breath retention here. Go back into that pattern of inhaling and holding, and exhaling and holding. Really allow your right leg to relax down onto the floor. Let it feel heavy. One more breath technique. And then release and come out of that stretch. Just bend your knees, set your feet down, and relax here. Now, if you're feeling like it's bothering your lower back, go ahead and slide the block out, come down flat onto the floor. Otherwise, we're going to do one more exercise where we'll slide the right leg out to straight. My chair in the way a little bit there. And then either bring it back in or send the left leg out first. So now both of your legs are long, and then bring the right one in and the left one in. Then we'll do the reverse. Left one goes out. Either bring it right back or put the right one out first. Then bring the left one in and switch, starting with the right. And just one more time, starting with the left. And then prepare to lift up off the block. So push down into your feet, lift the hips up, up. Slide the block out from underneath the hips, and we'll roll down, starting with the upper vertebrae. Tuck your tailbone under, roll down one bone at a time. It's really hard to get that low back to come down into the floor. Really tuck. And then release, and we'll bring both knees up to the chest. Good. Let's do a little bit of a rock from side to side just to release the lumbar spine. A lot of times back issues can be caused by tight hip flexors. So even though the effort and the goal was to stretch your hip flexors, that is a low back therapeutic exercise. Okay, let's lower the feet down. Let your knees open into Supta Baddha Konasana. Supta means reclined or laying on our back. Baddha Konasana is bound angle pose. And we'll just let the knees float apart, stretching through the inner thighs. Now, if you would like just to relax here, I'm going to give you that option just to make this a functional flexibility exercise, or we can move into functional core strength and bring the fingertips to support the back of the head and do 10 small crunches, lifting the shoulder blades up, 1, and down at your own pace. Exhale, coming up. If that's problematic to your lower back, bring your knees back into alignment, straight up and down. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, and relax the head and neck. Close your knees back together and then separate your knees and feet just about as wide as your mat is. And then I want you to drop both knees over to the right. So we're in a windshield wiper. And again, you can relax into this and just make it about flexibility. Or we can add the functional core strength option, supporting the back of the head. We'll lift up and crunch. And you should be feeling this working that left side oblique and rectus abdominis. Looking for about 10. Try not to tense your neck up too much. I have 4 more. And then relax when you're ready. And let's shift those knees all the way over to the other side. Nice windshield wiper stretch. It's a little bit of a twist. It's a little bit of a hip flexor stretch. Option to add 10 crunches. And these don't have to be very high. It's a pretty small movement. Nice moderate pace. I have 4 more. And relax. Good. Bring those knees right back up to the midsection. And we'll prepare to come up to seated. So you can roll to your side, or you can bring your knees in and roll like a ball a couple of times until you have enough momentum to get yourself to come all the way up. Great. Sitting on a block or blanket, if you would like, we'll come into our seated butterfly, Baddha Konasana. I was just thinking how much Joyce would have liked that segment that we just did. She loved to add all kinds of core work in, so we did that one for Joyce today. Okay, take a nice, easy stretch here for the inner thighs, for the lower back. And breathe maybe 3 rounds of the breath retention sequence. One more time with the breath. Inhale, hold, exhale, and hold. Good. Come up. Staying here in butterfly, or you can come into simple cross-leg pose. Let's bring your left hand to the floor gently to relax it there. Right arm opens out and up. We bring that right arm to cradle the side of the head with your right hand, and then tip your head to the side to stretch the neck. Now this left hand can also come behind your back. I feel my core really working doing this in butterfly. I think if I extend my legs further out, that's going to be a little bit better. Okay, release that side. Bring your right hand to the floor. Take your left arm out and up and across to gently cradle the ear. Bring left ear to left shoulder. Option to bring right hand behind your back. And then release it down. We'll allow both arms to sweep out and up, sending the palms into an Anjali Mudra, bringing the thumbs into the heart as we touch the sternum. Our mudra signifying honor and gratitude. And I am so grateful and honored to share class with you today. Namaste. Nicely done, everyone. Hope you can stay on for a couple of minutes and chat. If not, send me a quick little message and let me know. And remember, no live classes next week. Okay, I'll be right back at you.